Hey there, it's another edition of Coffee with the Goose. You know, I talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. Yeah, I'm the Goose, so glad you joined me again. Gonna give you some Manny Pacquiao news and thoughts. Maybe, hopefully, a future fight for Manny Pacquiao. Before we get started, though, let's have a little sip of my coffee. As you know, my coffee is very strong, like my opinion. And, of course, I gotta have some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right, here we go. Coming to you live again from the Philippines, the home of my wife Raquel, the island of Cebu, more specifically, the town of Argao. And we're enjoying our trip here. Looking forward to getting back home for Christmas, though. So let's talk a little Manny Pacquiao news, shall we? Pacquiao coming off a win. It's been a while since we've been able to say that. Well, albeit a win in an exhibition fight against the legendary DKU in Seoul, South Korea. Hey, we'll take a win, right? Now, I did a video earlier today giving you my thoughts about how Pacquiao looked in that fight and what I think he needs to work on. He did not look good. Come on now, you guys, we're all Pacquiao fans. We want to see him fight again, but let's be serious. That wasn't the real Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, he toyed with the DKU, knocked him down a couple times, and you know, by the fourth round or so of that 6-round fight, Pacquiao started to get a little serious and really started smacking DKU around, and that was good to see. But he did not look his normal sharp. The reflexes, the quickness, that just wasn't there. But, you know, again, we'll take what we can at this stage. What is it going to take for Manny Pacquiao to follow through on his promise to get back into the fight game? Well, let's go through the details, shall we? Now, remember, he's coming off a loss. He retired after losing to Yordenis Ugas last year. We were in Vegas for that fight, and, of course, Manny and the company were gracious enough to let us into their camp, and we got to interview everybody and just had a great time. They're wonderful, you know, Filipino hospitality. We're very thankful, and we need to see more of that in order for Pacquiao to take on the big dogs, and he's still capable of doing it. Let's not fool ourselves. Pacquiao may be about to turn 44 years old, but if he gets, you know, serious about it and commits himself to the fight game again, he can beat anybody. Now, when he lost to Ugas last year, first of all, why did he lose? Is it because Ugas is a better fighter? He was on that night, yeah, but the shenanigans surrounding boxing, that's why he lost. You know, let's look at facts. Facts are facts. Let's not avoid addressing what happened. He was scheduled to fight Errol Spence Jr. for a share of the world, another share of the world welterweight title. But Spence got an eye injury just 10 days before the fight. An eye injury in training. That's odd. And what's even more odd is the opponent of Yordenis Ugas, who was on the undercard, also suffered a mysterious eye injury just a couple hours later. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of... I'm really suspicious as to how that worked out. And so, you know, Pacquiao was left to fight Ugas. And normally he would be able to beat Ugas, I believe. The problem there is he only had a week or so to prepare. And when you're fighting at the top of the game that Pacquiao's been doing for over 20 years, you have to have a game plan. You have to prepare for that specific opponent, and he did not have a chance to do that against Yordenis Ugas. So, the first thing Manny Pacquiao needs to do if he's going to get serious about fighting a championship fight is, yes, to get serious. It's not just talk is cheap, and Manny's never been guilty of just cheap talk. He's always been a very serious fighter. But in order for him to make this comeback, the first thing he has to do is commit himself mentally to fighting against a championship fighter, and you have to do that. You can't just go on your laurels if you're going to fight against these guys. They're all great. The second thing he needs to do is get his team on board. You know, his training team, his promotional team. He's got to get everybody you know, to go along with the plan and get serious and, okay, let's do this again. He's done it many, many times over the years. He's an 8th division world champion, by the way, and nobody's come close to that. The third thing he needs to do if he's going to fight a championship fight is he has to start negotiating. Not so much with one specific opponent, although that's down the road, yeah, but he's got to start reaching out, talking to different camps, different opponents, and the money game, of course, the promotions, and what network will cover the fight. Will it be PBC? Will it be Showtime? Who is it going to be that will handle all the business end of the fight? And in my opinion, the next thing he needs to do is talk to Freddie Roach. Somebody interviewed very briefly Freddie after the fight, or at least after Pacquiao said he's going to come back and fight for real. Freddie never really answered the question, are you going to train Manny if he decides to fight again? He never really said yes or no. I don't think he's into it. But if Manny wants to win a title again, I believe Freddie Roach has to be part of the plan. He's a legendary Hall of Fame trainer, and he is, you know, he knows Manny through and through, just like Manny knows him. And what makes Freddie Roach great, he's trained many, many championship fighters, not just Manny Pacquiao, but he is smart. He comes up with a battle plan, a game plan designed for one specific opponent. Okay? We're okay? We're fine. And that's why he lost to Ugas. He didn't have a plan, or at least he didn't have a plan and time enough to work on it and be ready to take on Yordenis Ugas with his strengths and his weaknesses. Finally, and this is maybe the most important part, he has to get serious about training. And of course, Manny's been doing that his whole career, and that's one of the things that sets him apart from other fighters, is he just outworks him. He outtrains him. He'll leave you in the dust when it comes to training. In the gym, on the road, preparation for the specific opponent, Manny leaves no stone left unturned. He and Freddie Roach, or even Boo Boy, if that's what it comes down to, have to commit themselves to a serious, extended training camp and really put in the necessary work to fight a championship fight, whether it be, you know, Errol Spence Jr. or Terrence Crawford, or maybe even Floyd Mayweather. Who knows? Even though I believe Manny when he says Floyd is scared to death of him. He is. Come on, those two aren't going to fight. Floyd is not going to do anything to risk that 0 losses on his record. It's not going to happen. Even though it's all about money. Pride, of course, but it's all about money. And so you can, not for sure, but I believe you can just take Floyd's name off the list. It's going to be either Spence or Crawford. And not too much time has gone by where it's too late for Manny to prepare for another championship fight. Let's be honest. I believe he was going to beat Errol Spence Jr. No question in my mind. And that's why we saw the serious question marks around Spence and his eye injury, and the, you know, equally mysterious eye injury of Yordenis Ugas' opponent a couple hours later. The irony is just too strong there. So, but there's no doubt in my mind, Manny Pacquiao is capable of beating anybody in the fight game, even at the age, he's going to be 44 here pretty soon, even at that age. If he commits himself and follows all of these points on the list that I mentioned, there's no doubt he can win. No doubt. So, anyhow, we'll see. Pacquiao looked good, you know, in specific moments against DKU, but it wasn't the real Manny Pacquiao. When he gets serious, you'll see the real beast come out. And we've seen that many, many times over the years. The beast still lies within Manny Pacquiao, waiting to come out. So I believe we'll hear something specific from Manny probably after the new year. He's going to celebrate Christmas and his birthday, just like we're all ready to, you know, enjoy the holidays. And then I believe in January, maybe as late as February, we're going to start hearing some talk about a specific opponent, and then the official announcement will be made. So there you go. It can happen. Manny has already said it's going to happen. But he needs to follow, these specific plans, and then it will indeed happen. So what do you folks think? I want to get your opinion. Is Manny capable of coming back and beating these people like he's been doing over the years? Or is it too late? Is father time caught up with him? I want to know what you have to think. That's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose from the Philippines. Once again, hope you enjoyed it. And let me know what you think about Manny Pacquiao's comeback plan. Take care.